Hey, so I'm right now in Scarborough with what I would say is probably the most interesting person we've talked to all year, when we've talked to some really interesting people. This here is Mr. Dragon Balotic, and he is a professional. He's a science and telecommunication expert, and he believes the Earth is flat. And hello, sir. Welcome. I'm glad to speak to you. Thank you.
Too.
Now, do you really believe the Earth is flat?
100%.
You university degrees, 3 university degrees in what?
In electrical engineering, in theology, and in the science, religion, and philosophy.
So you're clearly a smart man, clearly educated, and you believe the Earth is flat.
Yeah, less than 1% possibility that it is not. Far less than 1%.
How is it flat? Just tell us the theory.
Okay. The Earth looks like a plate. It's not a ball. This is the biggest hoax in the world ever.
But you believe it's flat.
I more than believe. I have many proofs.
Boy, I don't know where to start here. If somebody starts off sitting right here and they get in an aeroplane or they walk, keep going that way, eventually they work around the world and come back to here, right?
That's right.
So how can that happen if it's flat?
Well, that can happen on a plane. On a plane also, you go around. Imagine a plate, and you start from Toronto, and you go a circle, you go to Tokyo, you go Moscow, you go back to Toronto. You are only doing it on a plane instead of a planet. Planet, only one T they have added. This is not a planet, this is a plane.
A plane, okay.
P-L-A-N-E.
I got
Yes,
it.
yes.
So it's a plane. Now we have satellites out in space, filming, photographing the Earth and other planets. They show what looks like balls, like round things.
Yes.
Are they not? Is it not a ball?
The satellites do not exist. That's a big lie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, that's a lie.
Yeah.
They have no satellites.
There's no satellites
There are
in
no
space.
satellites. So all the communication with the cell phones is through the towers, communication towers, and through the cables under the sea. But satellites do not exist.
So they're like a hoax. They're kind of, and they're one of the big
It's a
hoaxes.
lie, really.
Okay.
It's not hoax. It's a plain lie.
Yeah. So the Earth is flat. Now, if you went in a straight line, if you don't go around the edge, if you went in a straight line and you get to the edge of the plane, the world,
Yeah.
what happens? Because it's like it's an edge.
Okay.
So what happens?
The center of that plane is North Pole.
Yeah.
The edge is what they call Antarctic.
Yeah.
Antarctic is not a South Pole. Antarctic is edge around the Earth.
Okay.
It is about 200 feet high.
Yeah.
It's all ice,
Yeah.
ice walls. And those ice walls keep the water in. So the water does not flow over the edge.
Yeah.
But Antarctic is the edge of the Earth. It is not the pole.
So the Arctic surrounds.
The Arctic surrounds. It's enormous. It's a very long line.
Okay, and could somebody in the Arctic climb those ice things and then look over the edge?
They can do that. This Admiral Byrd did that. But they cannot go beyond certain edge where the firmament or the dome meets the Earth. Above the plane of the Earth, there is a dome. There is a dome. And dome meets the Earth on the edges of the Earth. So they can only go to that edge, not further.
Wow. Okay.
Beyond the edge is other plane goes, we don't know exactly what is beyond because nobody has gone beyond.
And what about underneath? What's going on underneath?
Underneath, we have never done more drilling then about 8,000 meters. Russians have done 8,000 meters, no more. So we don't know exactly the depth of the Earth.
So we don't know. So if we drilled further than 8,000 meter, we might pop through the edge. Bam.
We might pop through the edge, or we might go into the fire, or we might come to the big water, because water above the dome, water below the dome, and waters beneath the earth. So there are waters. We probably would find the waters.
Water.
Yes.
Okay. Now space travel. Have we been to space?
Never.
Never.
That's also another big hoax. We have never been on the moon.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Aeroplanes. Aeroplanes are flying around, right?
Airplanes go above the
So they're real. They're not a hoax.
They are very real, but the airplanes never have to dip down because they are going around the earth. All the instruments on the plane are made to fly the plane straight in one line.
Yeah.
Not dipping. The plane would have to dip all the time because of the curvature of the earth.
Correct.
They don't.
Okay.
You can ask any pilot, and you can ask people who produce those instruments. There is no such factor.
What about the moon? That's a round ball, isn't it?
No. And it is not a ball, it is a disc.
It's a disc.
Yeah, and it's even transparent disc.
Yeah.
Many times we can see the stars beyond the moon. How is that possible?
Like through the...
Through the moon, yes.
So it's transparent, is it?
Yes.
And do you think we'll ever be able to go into space?
No.
Never?
No.
No matter how much money we give to
No,
NASA?
because there is a dome that is made.
What's the dome made out of? Some kind of glass
it's some
plexiglass?
kind of glass, very strong glass. They have tried to go through it. They with the rockets, they hit it, and the rocket
and
burns.
rocket
Yes.
breaks.
They have done it in 1950s.
1950.
Yes.
The rocket hits it and bam.
and bangs back.
But now we've got better rockets than we did back then, and we've got better airplanes. Surely those airplanes can go up and bang onto the glass or something?
No, airplanes cannot go there because airplanes only go 10,000.
Too far away.
The dome is too far. And the rockets cannot break through it anyway.
Yeah, because
it is stronger than.
It's very thick glass, you'd say?
It's strong.
Yeah, how thick would you say it might be?
That data I do not have.
Yeah.
But it cannot be broken.
It can't be broken. It's probably at least a foot thick.
Okay, that is speculation.
Yeah, we don't know the thickness.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's plexiglass or glass or some kind of amazing plastic that even a rocket can't get through.
Exactly. Okay. Yes.
So we've never been to the moon.
Absolutely never. There are many proofs. In many proofs we have never been. No, you can see when they make those recordings of the people on the moon, you can see in those space suits that the water is coming, the bubbles are coming, meaning they are doing it in the water on the ground. The bubbles, the air bubbles are coming up from the mouth. So this is...
What about the sun? Now the sun is round, right?
The sun is round, but it's a disc. It's not
it's a disc.
It's a disc also.
Flat.
It's not what they presented to us.
Okay.
It is only 5,000 kilometers or about 3,000 miles away from the Earth. So how to determine the distance of the sun from the Earth? Very simple. You take one place here in Africa where the sun is 60 degrees above on the horizon. At the same moment of time, you do the same thing in South America. You pick up at the place where the sun is 60 degrees above the horizon, but in the opposite direction. So wherever these two lines meet, that is where the sun is. Since we know distance from here to here, and since we know this side and this side, because it is a triangle that has 360 degrees angles, so every side is the same. So from here to here is the same, from here to here is the same, from here to here is the same. So the height of that from here to the sun, we can calculate very easy. Using simple geometry, you can calculate the height of that triangle. And it comes to 5,000 kilometers, approximately, of course. I'm not looking at 10 kilometers far away. I mean, of course, this is just, I'm using this globe to show you the places, Africa and South America. This is not the reality. The Earth is not curved like this. I'm just using it for the sake of explaining the Earth is flat here. That from here to here, there is no curvature. So that's 5,000 kilometers.
3,000 miles from the Earth. That's it. That would mean it's a little bit further than from here to California.
That's right. That's right. It's it's not 92 million miles.
It's much
100%. It's not 92 million.
You could get to the sun in about a 3-day Greyhound bus ride. You could get to the sun.
Approximately.
Okay.
Yes.
So the sun's very hot. You would burn. It's very hot, right?
We don't know even that.
We don't even
because
know that.
because we don't know if it is hot or not.
Oh, yeah?
That is not the big question.
No.
It does produce energy only when it hits a certain material, and then it produces heat. And they say that the space between us and sun is minus 271 degree Kelvin's degrees. You know, it's absolute zero. And how come? And the suns go through it and nothing happens.
Okay.
So if it were true that this is the Earth and this is the atmosphere of the Earth, beyond that is a vacuum, they say, and beyond that is minus 271 degrees, absolute zero. If that was the case, that vacuum would suck out all the Earth, and the Earth would freeze in one instant.
Well, absolutely.
So that is any common sense will tell you that.
Any common sense.
Common sense. It's impossible.
That's why we have a dome.
That's right. That's why.
So that's good we have a dome. So we don't want to break the dome, right?
It's a protection.
No, never. Don't even think about poking a hole in the dome. We need the dome.
We need the dome, 100%.
Perhaps someday we will be able to put a little hole in the dome and go to the sun, maybe?
No, sun is below the dome.
It's
sun is below.
Oh, okay.
Everything is below the dome.
It's
what is
inside the
above,
dome.
we don't know.
Okay, but maybe we can build a spacecraft and go to the sun, maybe?
That is a maybe possibility. If the sun is not hot, but produces energy in some other way, then there is that's a possibility.
It would be interesting. It'd be interesting to go to the sun. Yeah,
it would be interesting.
I would. And the moon.
And the moon is too flimsy.
Too
moon.
flimsy.
I don't have opinion about that yet.
It's flat. It's flat and it's flimsy.
Yes.
Could a spacecraft technically land on it, or would it be too flimsy? Do you think?
To me, it's too flimsy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So how about the other planets like Uranus and stuff, and Mercury?
Okay, this is Uranus. These are, we don't have one photo of any of those things. Those are all images, only images.
Are they fake images?
Yes, fake images.
Okay, so we don't even know if they exist. Pluto, forget it, right? Pluto.
We have many luminaries in the dome. There are many stars, but stars are not million times bigger than the sun, and sun is million times bigger than the Earth. You know, they say that
that's what they say. Yeah,
that's what they say. But the stars are very small lights.
So they're really small.
They are not huge.
So how big are they? Do you think? I mean,
they are like a light that can light the Earth. They have been made for the night.
Oh, so they're like light bulbs.
Well, they are light bulbs. That's right.
Well, that's terrible. I mean, I thought they were stars. I do feel that the Earth was round. I'm sure the Earth is round, but I'm not an expert. How would I know? Right?
Okay, you can know many ways.
Know?
Okay, let me give you one simple thing.
Okay, good.
Okay, this is Canada. Let's find Canada.
There it is.
Where is Canada?
No, that's Libya.
Here.
Sorry.
Okay, here is Canada.
Okay.
Above the North Pole of the Earth,
right.
there is a star
Yeah.
There is a North Star.
The North Star, yep.
Okay, and we can see it.
We can see it, I see it.
Okay, from Argentina,
Uh-huh.
you can see that same star.